Welcome to the Dr. Joy Show with your host, Dr. Joy.
Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. I thank you very much for joining me on this wonderful venture. It is my expectation that this show continues to inspire, educate, and stimulate your mind as we explore a variety of interesting topics. Please let me know you're watching by sending an email to thedrjoyshow@aol.com. Then come back and view this show as many times as you wish at www.youtube.com/The Dr. Joy Show. Joining us today will be two couples that have been married for over 20 years. They will discuss their aspects of dating and comment on what four single men and women had to say. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors. Again, I would like to thank my sponsors for supporting this show. Much appreciation to you. Have you ever thought about going back to college or even starting a rewarding career? Well, I have a place where you can do just that. Herzing University is the avenue for you that will capture your attention, motivate, and educate you to achieve higher heights. Call the number on your screen, 404-816-4533 for more information. And tell them that you heard it on the Dr. Joy Show. Are you seeking a place to work out that would show you fast results? If so, I would like to introduce to you Max Fitness Center. Max Fitness Center specializes in slowing the aging process for people ages 40 and over and has served the greater Atlanta community for over 25 years. Max Fitness Center has a variety of clientele, including pro athletes, high school athletes, families, children, and senior citizens. Call now, 404-755-9455 for more information. And tell them that you heard it on the Dr. Joy Show. Hello, and we're back on the Dr. Joy Show, and I am your host, Dr. Joy. I have with me Mr. and Mrs. Cleon Hodges. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Good. So you've seen previous shows. Yeah. So tell me your take on relationships.
Well, from the previous shows, my take is that the C word, as you keep calling it, commitment, it's a very important word in any relationship. Yes. And when you're committed, you kind of mold yourself together. You know, it's kind of like pottery. When this relationship is being developed, it's a little of me rubbing off on a little of you, and you rubbing off on a little of me. And it's a pottery type thing. Okay. So that when you get through putting it together, we have a good relationship. If it don't mold together, the bowl will break.
I like that. I like that analogy.
Yeah. And also with commitment, you have to know yourself in order to be committed. And you have to know exactly what you're looking for. If you're looking for anything, well, that's what you'll settle for, is anything. But if you got an idea of the kind of mate or spouse you want, then you can be more selective. And it's easy to make a commitment in that relationship.
Okay. Well, tell us, how did you guys meet?
We met in school. Actually, we've always stayed in the same neighborhood, but we never met each other. Okay. We met in technical school. Okay. And it just kind of, our relationship developed from a friendship.
Okay. And that's interesting that you say friendship, because today in dating, a lot of people skip that process. Right. They want to just go on to get married. I meet you today, let's get married tomorrow. So what is it that what type of information would you give to people today out here that's single so that we can get to be where you guys are?
You want to go?
Okay. One of the things I would say, get to know that person. Okay. You know, you have to find out what brings you together, what's your common grounds. And if you don't have anything in common, you can't talk to each other. And in a relationship, it's 50-50. I talk a little while, you talk a little while, I listen a while, you listen a while. But if one person is dominating the conversation, then you don't have much of a interest together. So that you have to get that interest so you can go on to be friends. And then after friendship, hey, the sky's the limit if you have that common ground.
Okay. Now, Pastor Tate, where you've seen in previous shows, talked about the 4 stages of dating.
Yes.
And one of those stages was to get to know you, because you don't trust that person. And then you have to go on further to trust a person and then become in a relationship and then possibly marriage. Do you think that works today?
I think it should work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you don't take the time to develop a friendship, and you know, in most marriages, you're my friend, you're my girlfriend, and you're my playmate, and you're my wife. So if you miss those stages, you're gonna miss the development of that. And if you know, so you just think this is your girlfriend or this is just a friend. If you're not committed enough, if you don't go through all those stages.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You know, and and on top of that, being friends first help you have a lasting relationship, because during that friendship stage, you learn all my interests. You learn exactly what I want in the future, because you sit down and you talk and you learn about each other. And a lot of times, one may want children and the other may not. So you need to know that early in the relationship. So if you have some idiosyncrasies, you just, hey, back it up and say, hey, we can be friends, you know.
Now, when you say friends, there's 2 categories of friends today. There's friends that we talk on the phone every now and then, we go out. And then there's another friends where we're dating, but yet we still use that same word, friends. Now, you guys have been married for 20 years.
40.
Married 40.
40. Wow. Now, that's really beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. That is beautiful. 40 years. Tell me, what is the glue that holds you guys together?
Well, to us, I think it's, first of all, it's the communication. We communicate about everything. Now, when I say everything, when we first got married, we had no money, okay? So I couldn't go out and spend just because I was used to it, because it was just me and I was at home. I could spend my whole check if I wanted to.
Right.
Okay. But when I got married, I had to understand that all this went into one pot. And things had to be done, and I couldn't buy that pair of shoes that I wanted this week. Okay. And we had to understand that. So we set up a thing with us that we both had checking accounts, but both names was on both checking accounts. We understood that I was not going to write checks out of his account unless he knew, and he wasn't going to write them out of mine unless I knew. And I also knew that I wasn't going to spend, like I said, we had no money. You couldn't spend over $50 without the other one knowing, because it threw everything off of whack. So you got to start somewhere. And since finances is a big issue in most marriages, you have to come up with a way how you're going to handle it. If you got one account, that's great. If you got 2 accounts, that's great. But it's up to the 2 of you to make a decision on how you're going to make it work.
Okay. Yeah. And that's a big thing, is how will I make it work? A lot of times people don't want to think about how to make it work. They want to just quit. So in order to have a great relationship and a lasting relationship, you have to think about that other person, and you have to think about, how do I want to make this work? See, and for us, setting down some ground rules early in our marriage, because we were broke, and it helped us solidify our relationship. Because when you don't have money, you figure out how to do things that don't cost a lot of money. And doing that help us build a great bond. Say, right now we can talk to each other. You know, all right, I call her when I leave work to let her know I'm leaving. So one thing is, she won't get worried if I'm late.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. And you know, people today, these are younger people today, they tend to not have that same respect factor with each other. It's always, well, why do you need to know where I am? And you know, and so when you speak to people that have a successful marriage such as you, it sort of makes you think about,
Yeah, well, when you're married together.
Yes.
What God joins together, okay? When you're single, you're out there by yourself. But when you're married, you're together, and you can't take that single mentality into a marriage.
yes,
Once you commit yourself and say, I do, it's two of you,
great,
okay?
great.
So you have to think about my future, our future, what's best for the family.
Okay.
Another thing too is that in a relationship, not even single and all, somebody always needs to know where you are in this society today.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Great, great. Well, thank you guys so very much for coming on the Dr. Joy
Thank you
Show.
for having
I
us.
appreciate it.
We
very
are
much.
welcome.
Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. 40-year marriage. Thank you.